Good evening, Your Worship and Council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. Before I begin, I'll let you know that with me tonight is Steve Huckster. He is an animal behavior specialist with over 20 years of experience working with animals ranging from rabbits to orcas. He's been a guest speaker at both UVic and Camosun. Although I was told he wasn't permitted to speak with me here tonight, he is here in case you have any questions requiring an expert response. Also, there will be a PowerPoint and photos playing. Please take time to view the pictures taken at 2 BC rodeos. One is the Cloverdale Rodeo in Surrey before events were banned, and the other is the Luxton Pro Rodeo. Langford's known as a municipality that gets things done. Langford says yes when we can do things other areas can't or won't do. Langford takes down barriers and makes things happen. We have seen this with bringing businesses for the shopping district and the incredibly nimble and quick abilities when building recreation facilities, some of which I regularly enjoy for 7 a.m. children's hockey practices. I'm here tonight as a lifetime West Shore resident. Yep, that's right, I went to Belmont. I remember when Kelly Road was a dead end and how excited we all were when the mall opened up. Actually, Councillor Seaton, I believe you knew my father, Art. I'm also here in 2014 as a mother, an animal lover, and a local business owner, and I'm very concerned. I live close to the Luxton Fairgrounds on the border of Colwood and Langford, and I understand that making changes to the annual Luxton Pro Rodeo is a multifaceted issue. There's the local economy, the community event aspect, as well as support for the local Machosen Farmers Institute and animal welfare. In the last 4 years, 4 injuries have been reported by the Luxton Rodeo to the Canadian Professional Rodeo Association. Injuries to animals happen in rodeos such as deep internal organ bruising, bone fractures, ripped tendons, and torn ligaments. Now we have the severe injury of a contestant, Mr. Cohurst, who was hospitalized after a steer wrestling incident on Saturday. While our position centers on concern for animal welfare, we also ask you to consider whether such inherently dangerous and disturbing consequences to both animals and humans are family appropriate. Fortunately, there have been no recent deaths at Luxton, but it isn't a matter of if they will occur, but when. Animals die each year across North America at rodeo events. Most recently in Western Canada, there was a calf death in Edmonton in November and a steer death at the Calgary Stampede in 2013. We've been misled by professional rodeo associations and operators who refer to animals as competitors or animal athletes. The cowboys are the only competitors and athletes in this situation. Their supposed opponents are farm animals that have been forced into the bowl. They also say that injuries and death don't happen very often, but how much is too much? Who decides how much fear, pain, and suffering should be purposely inflicted on animals and is acceptable in our community? Mainstream animal welfare organizations around the world oppose rodeo cruelty, including the BCSPCA, the Canadian Federation of Humane Societies, the Humane Society of Canada, the Humane Society of the US, and the national SPCAs of the USA, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Also, a recent survey completed by Insights West polled BC residents on different animal issues. When asked, 63% of Vancouver Island residents polled were opposed to the use of animals for rodeo. Well-respected local groups such as the BCSPCA, the Vancouver Humane Society, have both stated there are animal welfare concerns with the events held at Luxton. The BCSPCA is authorized by the province as the group in charge of managing animal welfare and cruelty investigations. I'm not an expert in animal welfare, but they are, and their opinions must be listened to. The question is not if rodeo events are cruel, as the experts have spoken, and they are cruel and inhumane. The BCSPCA wrote to the City of Langford in March this year following their letter from 2012, and in that letter they said, the BCSPCA has a long-standing policy condemning the performance of rodeo events that inflict mental anxiety and physical torment on participating animals. Every rodeo event causes the animals involved to experience fear, and some cause great pain and discomfort. The risk of injury to animals during these events is substantial. The BCSPCA respectfully requests that the City of Langford consider phasing out the Luxton Pro Rodeo in favor of an expanded country fair that does not involve the harm or exploitation of animals. Other BC municipalities have already prohibited rodeo events in their jurisdictions, demonstrating their commitment to being recognized as humane communities. As you may know, the City of Surrey has also taken steps to limit the harm to rodeo animals by asking the Cloverdale Rodeo to eliminate some of the most harmful events, calf roping, steer wrestling, and team roping. To our knowledge, this has not jeopardized the popularity of the event, and in fact has won the city and the rodeo goodwill from the community. Another expert, Dr. Nicholas Shaw, a well-respected local veterinarian, also has written to the City of Langford. I'm a veterinarian practicing in Greater Victoria and have been here for 28 years. I've been involved for my entire career with both large and small animals. I have considerable experience with a variety of animal species and supervise 10 other veterinarians and a staff of 60. I'm of the opinion that sports or entertainment activities that cause or risk stress or injury to animals should no longer be considered acceptable in our society. I know that there are many in the rodeo world who disagree. However, it seems an undeniable truth that running down an animal on horseback and roping and tying them up causes them stress. Rodeos will only survive as a venue long term if they adapt to prevalent social values where animal welfare is concerned. The question is not, can a bylaw be used to restrict these inhumane events within a municipality? As precedent shows, it can be done. There are a number of BC municipalities subject to the same governing legislation as Langford that have successfully addressed this issue. Victoria and Oak Bay animal bylaws prohibit the operation of a public show, exhibition, carnival, or performance in which animals are required to perform tricks, fight, or otherwise participate for the amusement or entertainment of an audience. And the City of Vancouver and North Vancouver have more specifically restricted rodeo events by business prohibition bylaw. If we look back over history, we see that time and time again, as we gain knowledge regarding people, animals, and the environment, public opinions change, but the historic laws lag behind. It always takes time for the law to be changed to catch up. There's no doubt that the future of North America will no longer have circuses, marine mammal parks, or rodeos. It's just a matter of time. The real question before us is whether or not His Worship Mayor Young and the councillors of Langford will reflect on the facts and choose to do the right things sooner rather than later. The Metchosin Farmers Institute can bring new events and funds to the annual rodeo to replace the removed events in order to sustain their financial needs. We ask that the City of Langford carry its progressive and modern reputation over to this issue of animal welfare. The Victoria Citizens Against Rodeo Events recommends that the City of Langford implement a bylaw to restrict roping, wrestling, and events involving children riding or chasing animals, along with the use of forcible handling techniques and devices used to induce unnatural behaviors. In addition, in order to further support the bylaw development process, we have confirmed that the BCSPCA and Vancouver Humane Society have offered their services to assist in drafting any bylaw if requested. Our package tonight provided to Council contains copies of letters from the experts, bylaws, this presentation, as well as a physical petition with 788 signatures and an online petition with 1,847 signatures. Allow me to close in saying that no matter how noble the cause the money is raised for, nothing can justify the inhumane treatment of animals, and we are responsible to those without voices to protect them, stand up for them, and work together to make things better for the future. Steve Huckster or myself are happy to answer any questions you may have now or in the future. Can Council kindly advise when the City may respond to the concerns expressed this evening?
Thank you very much, Melissa.
Thank you.
Anyone on the council have any questions for Melissa or the expert that we have in our session? Thank you very much, Melissa. You give us lots to think about.
The Raging Guccian here with Melissa Demels of VCARE, Victoria Citizens Against Rodeo Events. Melissa, you just finally had a chance to talk to Langford City Council about the rodeo, of course the day after the May long weekend, but still, it's good to be up there, get a chance to speak. How do you feel it went today?
I think it went really well. I did feel that some of the members of council were really listening to what we were putting forward. So I'm hoping that they will take some of these new perspectives and think on them, and maybe we'll get a positive response.
Yeah, so do you have any idea how long that process is going to take? I know you asked the question at the end. We certainly got everything on tape, but there was just no response. So do you have any idea of...
I didn't expect that they were going to provide me with a timeline. Mm-hmm. So since it's taken me 2 years to get in to speak, I really couldn't hazard a guess at how long it would take them to reply. I will follow up with them in a few weeks and ask if they've had a chance to consider everything we put forward and see what they say. It would be really great if an official response came out of City Hall, though.
Yeah, of course. So where do you go from here then? You've got a full year ahead until the next potential rodeo at this point. There's a lot of work needs to be done, of course, to perhaps to stop it from happening. Do you have any plans in mind already, or?
I may take a couple days off.
Yeah, well deserved. I think.
And then I think, I've been in touch with the CRD director. So, we're thinking about putting together a presentation for the CRD because they can put in bylaws that impact all of Greater Victoria. So we're looking at that, and we'll probably be talking to our provincial representatives as well if we don't hear back from the City of Langford.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you want to obviously hold them accountable, and it's going to be continuing putting pressure on local businesses, of course, that support the rodeo, continuing putting getting the message out to people that this is happening in the backyard of their communities and such. What about on the ground kind of work? Is it going to be the same tactics this year as last year?
I think we've had great success using social media. Yeah. So I think that we'll continue our fight online and educating people through our website. And we have just picked up the 2014 rodeo program, so we do have all the information on sponsors of this year's event. Okay. So we will ensure that our supporters know who is supporting the cruelty at the rodeo, so that they know that their dollars aren't supporting it as well. Definitely
an important thing for people to know where that money is going and what it supports, of course. So, one thing I notice, definitely when you get in the room, you speak, you're well-spoken, you're doing your thing up there, and I think people are starting to see you, if they don't already, as a bit of a hero, right, in the community, right? I know. But it must, how does it affect you, getting, the media attention and things like that, and then people, yeah, how does that feel for you?
Well, I don't really want media attention. I'm not one for the spotlight, and I always am telling people don't congratulate me because we actually haven't changed anything yet. So until we actually make some change at the Luxton Rodeo, I don't feel like I've done that much other than be loud and annoying to the city, which I've been all my life to people. So, I don't know. It makes me kind of uncomfortable, some of those words like hero and stuff, because I haven't really done anything yet.
Right. Well, there's no better kind of hero than a humble one, so definitely appreciate that. And all your hard work today, thank you for presenting to Langford City Council. It was an important moment, definitely out here in this district or municipality, and I know that you're going to be back again and going to keep the pressure on them over the next year.
Yeah, definitely. I'll never give up until we make those changes, so thank you so much for coming out tonight to cover it.
Of course. Thanks a lot, Melissa.
Thanks, Jordan.
Hey, take care.
Bye.